My next project is going to be a birthday banner for my grandsons. Their birthday is this week, and my one grandson really likes Lotso Bear, and so this one is going to be holding up one side of the banner. And this is in Toy Story. It's on page 66, and I cut it out at 10.5 inches, and this is craft colored paper, and this is a shadow. The next image is the main base image, and I cut it out in a dark plum. The next image is layer 1, and I cut that out in a lighter plum. And it actually looks like it's all one piece, but it's actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces. And that's layer 1, like I said, and the shifted layer 1 is the purple nose and the eyebrows. And then layer 2 are the eyes, and one of them is layer 2 is just a regular layer, and the other one is the shifted layer. And I did that in the same color that I am doing for the belly and the mouth, and it's kind of like a light gray. And then the next layer is layer 3, and the red stick right there is part of the cane, or it's actually a toy hammer that Lotso Bear holds. And then the shifted layer is the top of the hammer, and that is cut out in the craft brown, the same color as the shadow. And the one layer I forgot to tell you about is there is a shifted main base layer, and that is the bear's belly, the mouth, and the inside of the ears. And again, I cut that out in a light gray. I just added the main base image to the shadow, and also the main base image does have the stencil cuts out, so you know where to place the rest of your pieces. I just added the shifted main base image to the main base image, and that is the belly, the mouth, and the inside of the ears. I just added layer 1, and I don't know, maybe you've made these before and you've noticed this, but it's a little bit different than the other images I've made. There is kind of like, I call it like a crayon thin line between each of the layers or the pieces that you put on. I don't know if you can see it. It looks like, to me, what I would say like an outline for a crayon page. You just have to kind of like make sure, even though you've got the stencil cuts, still kind of like allow for that when you go to place it. I kind of like placed it down before I taped it, so I knew where it was going to be going. And that's what it looks like when you have layer 1 on. It's coming together. I just added the shifted layer 1 to the image. And that's the purple nose and the eyebrows. I just added layer 2, which is the whites of the eye, although I made them the same color as the mouth, so it wouldn't really pop out. And I have to do the shifted layer. I just added the shifted layer 2, which is the color of the eye, which I used was brown, and that's what that looks like. I just added layer 3, which is the red stick to his cane or the toy hammer. I just added my last layer, which is the shifted layer 3. It's the top of the hammer, or if you want to call it the cane. And my image is ready for my banner. I have to make 2 for each side of the banner, but this is going to be on the left side. I just wanted you to see that you can reverse the image very easily, and it would be great for holding up any kind of banner. But my grandson doesn't want 2 Lotso bears. He wants to have a Mr. Potato Head on the other side, so I'm going to go ahead and make that. But I just wanted you to see that doing the Lotso bear, he can do that, and he can hold up the banner on each side. This is the other half of the birthday banner. It's going to be Mr. Potato Head, and this is the shadow. I cut it out in a craft brown, and I cut it out at 9 inches. This is the main base image, and I cut it out in a dark brown. And this is the shifted main base image, which is the hat, the mustache, and the eyebrows, and I cut it out in black. And this is layer 1, which is the actual potato head. And I cut that out in a brown, a different color brown than the dark brown or the craft brown. And then the shifted layer of layer 1 are the ears, and I cut that out in a bubblegum pink. And then layer 2 are the shoes, and I cut those out in a royal blue. Layer 2 shifted image is the nose, and I cut that out in a skin tone. And then layer 3 is all the white parts to Mr. Potato Head, his arms, his eyes, his mouth. And I cut that out in white, which is what I said. And then layer 3, the shifted layer 3, is the mouth, and I cut that out in red. I'm going to be putting this together. I just added the main base image to the shadow. I just added the main base shifted image, which is the black, to the main base image. I forgot to mention at the beginning that I reversed this image totally so that I could have one on one side of the banner and one on the other. And also, I would prefer a lighter brown for the contrast, but this is what I had, so this is what I worked with. I just added layer 1 to the main base image. I just added the shifted layer 1, which are the ears, to the main base image. I just added layer 2, which are the shoes, to the main base image. I just added layer 2, the shifted layer 2, which is the nose, to the main base image. Okay, I just added layer 3, which is the white layer, to the main base image. And I thought I'd give you a little heads up on some of the things to keep when you cut out the white. And first thing is, I had thrown away these 2 pieces, not realizing that they were for the mouth. I thought they were an outline. And then in terms of the eyes, what you need is the dots inside of the eyes, and obviously the outside, the white of the eyes. What you don't need, you won't need, are those. So everything you cut out, for the most part, you will need. And I had to go fishing for these in my trash. So I just, maybe other people won't have that issue, but I just wanted to give you a heads up. Okay, so my Mr. Potato Head is finished. The last layer I put on was the layer 3, which is the lip, and it's the red lip, and it was a shifted layer, and this is finished and ready for the banner. Okay, so I finished with the banners. Actually, my daughter strung these for me and her friend, and this is what it looks like when it's finished.